It's holiday shopping time, and I'm just going to get it all done at Origins. Origins is the pioneering nature-infused skincare brand that has elevated gift sets that will surprise and delight everyone on your holiday shopping list. Origins creates transformative skincare with naturally derived ingredients to noticeably improve how skin looks and feels.
I like your plan, Jess. I'm going to do the same thing because I love that Origins has a long history of commitment to our planet. They reduce waste, they care about our natural resources, and their gift set cartons are plastic-free, recyclable, sourced from responsibly managed forests, and for every tree harvested, new trees are planted. Love that. To date, the brand has planted over 2 million trees around the world, so you can feel good about the gifts you're giving this season from Origins, like their bestsellers gift set, which I actually just am gifting to myself because it has the most amazing travel size stuff. You get the frothy face wash, the checks and balances, clear improvement, charcoal mask, mega mushroom, a little ginseng. Don't you love ginseng?
I love ginseng. That's my favorite franchise.
Oh my God. I know it works on my skin, but also I just love the smell so much.
So fresh.
There's also eye cream, fortifying emulsion, like all this great stuff. And it's $45. And they have all sorts of other gift sets too.
Excellent. So get Origins gift sets today, available at origins.com.
We are obsessed with Color Guru. You've heard us talk about it on the podcast. Sorry we keep talking about it, but it is the greatest service. It's basically an expert that tells you exactly what looks best on you. They analyze your hair, your skin color, your eye color, and they match you with your ideal color palette for clothes, but also for makeup and also for life, right? Like, Jess, this has infiltrated my life.
I have to tell you, I did the quiz. It was so much fun. I got a whole email and an actual card in the mail, 2 cards that explain which colors look good for me. And I hung them up in my closet. I refer to them daily. Now I know which colors look best on me, clothing-wise, but also makeup-wise. And I have to tell you, I think I look better.
Yeah, me too. I'm a winter, Jess is a fall. But it's not just winter and fall. There's these subsections in there. And the Color Guru gives you a lot of the reasoning of why you look good in certain things and why not. So then you can apply those principles. It's not just like, I must wear red. It's like, oh, let me think about the clarity of the color. I learned a lot about color theory.
It's almost as fun as your zodiac sign.
It is. And you know I'm not an astrology person, but I am a Color Guru person. And if you want to be a Color Guru person too, we can help you with that. You got to go to colorguru.com. So color, GURU.com. You'll discover your best colors. You can use our coupon code. We'll give you 10% off if you use the code FATMASCARA. That's 10% off when you enter the code FATMASCARA at colorguru.com. Hi, welcome to Fat Mascara. I'm Jen.
I'm Jess. It's the end of the year. We did it.
It is. We switched it up and I said hello to everyone. Hi, fam. Are you excited?
I'm excited. Listen, this is our annual Naughty and Nice episode. I think we've been doing this almost every year, if not maybe we didn't do it the first year, but we've done it almost every year. It's become a little bit of a tradition. So if this is your first Naughty and Nice episode, basically it's highs and lows, hits and misses, things we felt were a little naughty, we're sick of it,
Or I'm going to be naughty talking about it.
Oh, okay. That's an interpretation. and things that make us feel nice, that we're happy about,
That I will nicely recap.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So
wow, I'm bringing the attitude.
Sugar and spice. That's another cute way to package it.
Is.
Sugar and spice.
Speaking of, before we get into it, because we usually each bring around 5. We'll see how it goes, this year. I do have to say, both naughty and nice, but did not make my list 2 days ago. Emily in Paris season 3 dropped.
Oh, okay. So this is this is a newer Fat Mascara tradition. Ever since Emily in Paris has entered the cultural scene, that's just been giving us so much fodder. But I love it. Even if people love to hate it, I love it because there's just
I love it.
There's so few shows that have come on the scene that you could just watch it on mute. There's so much the hair, the makeup, the clothes. There's just so much deliciousness. And that came out, remember, It came out during the pandemic time.
I needed it. I needed that candy.
Yeah. So I'm not mad at it.
I'm not either. My gift to you this holiday season is that you can watch that because neither of us have watched it yet. And so
I need a show. You know
wait.
that I haven't like watched a show in so long. It's like it's not funny.
The true present this holiday season is like an hour to sit down with nobody around and just watch some candy television, right?
More than an hour. I want like closet time. I just want to be in my closet with my laptop. All right. Anyway.
Feeling naughty. Here we go.
How's that for the holiday spirit? Alone in my closet with the laptop. Okay.
Semi-Scrooge, but I love it and I love you. And are you ready for the Fat Mascara annual Naughty and Nice episode?
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's get into it. I think in the spirit of the season, we should start out nice. Jessica, what was nice this year in
so
2022?
Generous of you.
That's right. Give me something nice in the beauty world, please.
Okay, something. Well, it's just like something I'm happy about. It's not like this was like a philanthropic.
You know, I
effort.
love a theme, and I'm just going to keep repeating it the whole show long.
What was nice? Okay, so I'm happy to see that I feel like we're kind of like hitting the wall a bit with celebrity beauty lines. I feel like we're kind of like seeing the light. When I say we, I mean like the collective, we. I feel like people are kind of just getting a little bit smarter, sort of asking some questions like why does this need to exist? Whether it's from like a sustainability standpoint, like how many more things need to be put on this earth, because like it doesn't go anywhere. Most of these things like do not get recycled. We're just like we're just adding and adding and adding and adding. So like does this need to be added to the junk pile on planet Earth? And
it's got naughty. Keep it nice. Keep it nice.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. But this has created an opportunity. Okay.
Yes,
Sorry, I did go naughty for a second. What's wrong with me? Okay. So there's been a spark, an opening for artists to kind of reappear and have their moment. And I was thinking about like, naughty and nice and all that. And I was reading about on fashionista.com, which had this really good story by Christina Montemayor. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She wrote this amazing piece, and it was about how like professionally developed formulas are filling this like while celebrity lines are kind of like not necessarily like going down, but like while there's kind of a question mark over them, there's this moment for brands like Jones Road to shine and Danessa Myricks to shine, Andrew Fitzsimmons to shine. And these are like brands that are like artistry brands. Now, these people that I'm naming are by no means like up and comers who like just need to crack the industry. These are super established people. But I really like seeing like a return to credibility, and it kind of reminds me of like a time where like artists actually move the needle versus celebrities moving the needle.
Okay.
So I think that's really promising.
And the three you named were all makeup artists. So
yeah, well, no, Andrew Fitzsimmons is hair.
Andrew, right. My bad.
She also named Acton Acre, which is a brand founded by a hairstylist called Helen Reavy. But it did kind of get me thinking, and this is like not a naughty or nice, but I was thinking like she mentioned, she called them professional brands, but I think she meant like, she said professionally developed brands, but I was thinking like professional brands. This is just like a sidebar. I was thinking about like brands like professional hair care brands like Nexus and Aveda, Kerastase, like Wella, great brand. Like, could anyone ever start a brand like that today? Like all of these brands that like she's mentioning,
legacy, like salon brands.
Like those brands aren't like around a person so much.
Right.
Or even like MAC, that's a professional brand, right? The founders of MAC are never, ever, ever mentioned, ever.
Yeah. I don't know, because you don't get that mass appeal. Like I feel like everybody's going niche. Like there's never like a huge line launching in hair. Like the last one I can think of is like Kristen S. But yeah, at least in hair.
But that's not like a pro brand that you're going to see at the back bar.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Kerastase. Like, yeah, honestly, I couldn't even tell you the start of Kerastase. Probably some salon in Paris. Okay. Bad beauty editor. But I see what you're saying for sure.
But either way, I like this idea of the pendulum or the focus going back to, well, who's behind it? And like, what's this all
beauty,
about?
away from entertainment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, I think that's a nice. I like it. It gives me hope.
Okay, that's super nice. And I think my first nice that I'm going to bring out isn't a counterpoint to that, but a complementary point. So I'm just going to put this headline out there. I have this friend and he does this thing where like, I feel like he just throws stuff at a wall to see what sticks. And he says like really like contrarian things sometimes. And then he like reads the room on it.
Wait,
Clayton,
he doesn't
hey,
know
what up,
if he
Clayton?
actually believes it. He just wants to.
Totally. He has to like room test it. So he'll put out a theory.
Who's
and
in the
then
room?
like
That's what I want to know.
it doesn't. That's why he's hilarious because it doesn't matter. And then like depending on how we feel about it, he'll like make his argument. And then sometimes halfway through he'll abandon his argument and be like, yeah, never mind. I don't believe that.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
I'm pulling a Clayton.
Okay.
I'm pulling a Clayton with this one.
Okay.
Are TV shows the new fashion shows? Nice. Nice.
Oh,
point.
like I'm
Here
thinking
it
of the thing
is.
you said about Wednesday the other day, Wednesday Addams.
Yes. So here's why.
Okay.
As I was thinking back about some of the big beauty trends, we'll get into
Wait,
TikTok,
is this a
I'm
nice
sure.
or a naughty or
This is a nice.
Okay.
I was thinking the things that to me felt like they went a little bit like not viral, but like really permeated the culture or particular colors or makeup looks for like the last year. They weren't coming out of haute couture and the fashion shows the way I thought they did. Maybe that was when I worked at a fashion magazine. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like Euphoria spawned an entire makeup line. Donnie Davies Half Magic came out this year. Yes, Wednesday with the whole soft goth look is back. The other one I was thinking about is I got very into White Lotus, which had like fashion moments, but then Portia, the young character, had these acid green nails, and I've been on the hunt to like find the gel color that is the exact color of her nails. But just as I'm looking through like Twitter and social and talking to people, it's more like the people in my circles are talking about the looks on TV and the fashion on TV and the beauty on TV, almost as if it's runway shows. Like you don't just watch it for the entertainment, you're watching for like, look, we just said it about Emily in Paris, you know?
Okay, Clayton. I think you're onto something. I think no.
You think it's not crazy, right?
No,
is this like
it's not crazy.
We're testing it.
No, I
this
think
theory.
you're right. Yeah, I mean, even like I think you see that with it's not apples to apples, but I was thinking like even like with music, you know, people don't like listen to like the radio or like watch like MTV. They look at TikTok and they find out what songs are, you know, good or trending.
Yeah, or a music video they saw on YouTube.
Right. Or even like, you know, thinking about like Kate Bush's like, you know, running up like saying right, running up that hill.
Yeah, from Stranger Things.
Exactly. So
the fact that music went so popular and it came from a TV show. Yeah.
There's not a lot of like communal conversation in the culture but like some of these huge hit shows
make that.
Yeah, exactly. So like for like fashion, beauty, music, it's kind of like the only place where people can convene and, you know,
and I'm not mad at it. So I think it's a nice thing because it gives us that cultural touchstone to talk about. Like I can't think of a fashion show. All I can think of is like the models that fell down, you know, at the last fashion week, which is sad. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the happy TV shows I've been loving.
I don't. But
and
the thing you're
makeup
saying,
looks.
like most people have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and that's the other thing. And if you want to speak the cultural language and have people be like, oh, yeah, I've seen that. It's TV. It's not fashion shows. And it's not the pages of magazines or papers. It's moving images, which is what, you know, TV is. Let me explain TV to all of our listeners.
But well, they were the talkies. And no, but listen, but I will say that like I still don't think like TV it's not like, oh, everyone is watching Wednesday or everyone's watching White Lotus. It's still quite segmented, but I think like it's as good as we're going to get right now.
Yeah, or there could be Gossip Girl. You'll find your show that has your look. So I'm going to drop that there. Nice. Our TV shows, the new fashion shows. And then we will come back with our next one. Let's do it.
Okay, so listen, I'm going to go nice again, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like my nices and naughties are like they're not that clean. They're not that tight because it's like I'm going into something a bit naughty too.
It's fine. It's end of the year recap.
I don't know why. Sorry, it's been a year, guys. Okay. It's been a year. Okay.
Let's hear it.
Shades of gray. Okay. So my nice is I love Mia Friedman. She is the co-founder of Mamma Mia, which is I'm going to call it, I did not rip this from their bio, but I'm just going to call it a lifestyle platform for women. And their coverage really, just check it out. It's an Australian site, but it's not like, it's very applicable to like anyone in the world, or I should say it has a wide appeal. So it covers everything from like world news to celebrity gossip to like some style, etc. So after the Allure, the like, final Allure cover went up with Jennifer Aniston, I, like everyone, was like, oh my God, amazing. Like Jennifer Aniston, love. It's, stunning, super, iconic, blah, blah, blah. But Mia wrote this piece. And by the way, Mia is just like, she's so smart. She's so good. She's such a good writer. She's such a good speaker. They also have a podcast. But she wrote about the Jennifer Aniston cover in this really nuanced way. And she wasn't debating its beauty. She wasn't debating the photographs or how good they were. She also said the profile was really good, really well written. So she wasn't debating how great the cover looked. She wasn't debating the profile, which she really liked. She talked about society's expectations of women, particularly in Hollywood, as they age. And basically, like, in short, and I encourage you to read the piece, it's very thoughtful. And that's, we often, I'm not saying you, listener, but like we as a culture really expect our celebrities, especially those who we grew up with, to kind of maintain this certain level of hotness. Gee, that's her word, her word. To be relevant. And it's a great article, and it's not, what I think was so good about it was it's not a takedown of Jennifer Aniston. It wasn't a takedown of Allure. It's provocative without being snarky, which I think is very difficult to do for a lot of writers out there and podcasters. I try very hard not to fall into that. So to watch her do this so eloquently in her words was awesome. The main idea is that in our culture, she said, quote, "The best way to counter any perception that you were old or irrelevant is to look young and sexually attractive." And that just kind of like landed with a thud for me. Not about Jennifer Aniston. Like, for me, the piece wasn't about Jennifer Aniston. It was just about like women's currency as they age. And not even if you're an actress or a model, but just as they age. And that's something we talked about with Paulina Porizkova, which was an episode that I personally really enjoyed, like top 5 out of the year, maybe top 2, because it was about
nice.
Like, what do we have
5.
to look like?
I agree.
Like what is the expectation of women, to kind of stay in the conversation, and what do we have to do? Like, are these things optional? I don't know. It was thought provoking for me. So I really enjoyed her piece, and I really enjoy Mamma Mia as a site. So check it out.
Nice. I like that. I like that whole take too.
So it's kind of a bundled naughty because it's like the pressures on women are just out of control.
But the way these same women are talking about them is quite nice.
Yeah.
So
and I like this kind of
Mia,
this complex dialogue that we're able to have.
Okay. Do you want me to keep it nice, or shall I go naughty?
I feel like I got like another nice in me. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I was in a really good mood when I was working on this. I don't know.
All right, I'll bring this snark. Here we go. Let's go naughty. What's my first naughty? You guys knew this was coming. I'm sorry, you knew it was coming. Doing it for the talk. Like we used to do it for the gram. We're doing it for the talk. Are you ready? Yeah. Gym lips. Mewing. Don't tell me about mewing. It's not really for TikTok, whatever. You know what I mean. Wolf cut. Doyen blush, dolphin skin, passport makeup, crying makeup, vabbing, period blood face mask. Are you kidding me on that one? And then the newest one, cold makeup. I'm cold makeup. It's literally blush. It's blush. It's like a little bit of highlighter around the eyes and then pink blush. So you look like a Victoria's Secret angel circa, the icy season that they did.
Yeah.
Frosty the Snowman, but make it hot. That's what I'm cold makeup is. I love the medium for delivering like just rawness and freshness and all that. But I feel like the content machine must be fed, and people just keep putting these little videos up with these names, and it makes me feel a little naughty. But since I'm always a contrarian, I'm going to throw 2 nice in there. I did like skin cycling. Remember we discussed skin cycling really helped us
I know you did.
Hit home a concept that like is hard to explain to people even though it shouldn't be.
Okay, so skin cycling you can get down with. Okay.
And The invisible eyeliner, I'm not mad at. I could never do it because my lids are heavy, but that's basically where you take, because your eyelid skin is slightly darker on a lot of people, you do your concealer in the reverse shape of eyeliner so that the darker skin tone is creating the eyeliner. And it looks pretty cool. And I do think that one was invented on TikTok because I have never seen a makeup artist do that. So.
Wait, where do you put the concealer? Like all over your eyelid?
No, like you draw it up as if it was the bottom line and then draw it over. And the little triangle in between is the darker skin, but it ends up reading like darker eyeliner, but it's really your natural skin tone because the skin tone around it is a little bit lighter. If you did that on me, there would be all sorts of transfer. I'd close my eyes. Every time I do liner that comes out like even further than my eyelid, you close my eyes and it's like it has like imprinted itself on my upper brow bone. So I can't do invisible eyeliner. But anyway, I'm going to say it's naughty doing it for the talk. Like, you don't need to make everything a thing.
I don't know. I can't get on board with a lot of these TikTok trends. Like I can witness them, but I don't know. I think I'm not the demo and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
I'm fine with that. So enjoy, keep it safe.
I know it's not ending in 2023. I know there's more of this to come. So that's fine. All right.
That's fine.
It's holiday shopping time, and I'm just going to get it all done at Origins. Origins is the pioneering nature-infused skincare brand that has elevated gift sets that will surprise and delight everyone on your holiday shopping list. Origins creates transformative skincare with naturally derived ingredients to noticeably improve how skin looks and feels.
I like your plan, Jess. I'm going to do the same thing because I love that Origins has a long history of commitment to our planet. They reduce waste, they care about our natural resources, and their gift set cartons are plastic-free, recyclable, sourced from responsibly managed forests, and for every tree harvested, new trees are planted. Love that. To date, the brand has planted over 2 million trees around the world, so you can feel good about the gifts you're giving this season from Origins, like their bestsellers gift set, which I actually just am gifting to myself because it has the most amazing travel size stuff. You get the frothy face wash, the checks and balances, clear improvement, charcoal mask, mega mushroom, a little ginseng. Don't you love ginseng?
I love ginseng. That's my favorite franchise.
Oh my God. I know it works on my skin, but also I just love the smell so much.
So fresh.
There's also eye cream, fortifying emulsion, like all this great stuff. And it's $45. And they have all sorts of other gift sets too.
Excellent. So get Origins gift sets today, available at origins.com.
Let's talk about dating. There's nothing like finding someone you can be fully yourself around. And Jess, I know we're not dating, but it's that feeling, the feeling we have with each other. Like when I was dating, that's what I wanted. Just someone I could really be myself around. That's what eHarmony is all about. They help you find those people that just get you. It's not fake.
You could just kind of say anything. You don't have to just kind of like curate your responses or post the perfect photo of yourself. Just be yourself.
Isn't that refreshing?
It feels really good.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little bit more about why you should get on eHarmony. eHarmony wants you to discover what real connection feels like. Their app helps you highlight more of your personality so you can meet people who like you for you, which is honestly an amazing feeling. And if you're ready to move past the swipe grind, eHarmony is the app that's ready to take you to that place. Their personality quiz is designed to highlight more of your personality, not the curated one. It's not about quippy one-liners. It's not about that perfect photo. Get ready to meet people who you can actually connect with. It's a great feeling.
You get to find someone who gets you. Who doesn't want that? Start a conversation on eHarmony today, and it's free. Download the eHarmony app now. Okay, I got naughty. I think it's funny I was the first to get naughty, so you have to get naughty. Let's hear it, Jess.
So a little bit, I'm going to piggyback a little bit on like everything you're saying with like TikTok. Have you seen those memes? This is like, I feel like this is more of an Instagram thing, actually. Like, they show like girls at 17 today, and they're like, they all look like Bella Hadid. And it's like me at 17, and you're holding like a Nintendo controller, and you have like braces.
And your bangs are sprayed all wonky.
and you got like
zits. 4 pairs of socks on. Or like, low flying June cool
You,
or whatever.
you look like Blossom at best.
Yeah.
Like at best. Okay. So that's kind of how I feel. It's kind of how I feel when I look at a lot of younger people. And like, but I kind of can't tell if they're like really young people. Like, I'm just being real. Like I see girls.
You're at that age where you're like, oh, that person's 12 and they're like 23.
Or like that Sex and the City episode where like the four of them like went out and then they saw like mini versions of them and they're like, what? I mean, it's just, but here's the thing. I'm not just being like, crabby. Something's happened where like the faces have changed. It's not just the style. Okay.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not that we're just getting older so they look?
No, that's completely part of it. And feel free to DM me and be like, wake up, girl.
Girl, you're just old.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what happened.
Okay. It's like, no, that's a huge, I'm going to attribute 75% of that to that. But there's a 25% where something has changed. And I really do think that it is, we've talked about this before. Sorry, a lot of this is like a summation of like, the past. You have to listen to the podcast in like 2022. This is kind of like the summary. So there's a lot more acceptance of using injectables at a younger age. So I don't know how I feel about really young people using injectables kind of as a cosmetic treatment, but like the barn has left the stable. The horse has left the stable. The horse has left the barn. And I was looking at the ASPS Cosmetic, the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, stats to see what was going on last year. Like for under 30s, lip augmentation is like through the roof, followed by cheek implants and soft tissue filler, which is like your Juvederms, like your filler. I feel like everyone kind of has the same face now.
It's like what you're saying. You're right. It's
space.
not just an age thing, to the point that I've been at a couple like influencer events or beauty editor events, and women I know that are in their late 20s, the amount of work they've had done, I'm always like, wait. And I think back to my late 20s. I mean, some of those procedures weren't even available then, but they all look very like they just stepped out of Patrick Ta's Instagram.
There's just kind of there's like a uniformity to.
Love you, Patrick. Your makeup's great. But like the snatched eye, the full cheeks, the lips with the slight upturn, the poutiness, the brow with like a sharp edge that just gives you like a very like too perfected kind of look.
Yeah, and to be fair, a lot of it is cosmetics. A lot of it is styling. If you look at like photos of the 60s, 70s, 80s, like, you're going to see people have a similar look. Mm. But I do all of these things are kind of converging at once. And I don't know, it just kind of leaves me with a feeling that I don't love.
Okay. A little bit of a naughty feeling. I get it.
Oh, no, I don't feel naughty.
I'm just trying to keep our theme going.
Oh, okay. I was like,
this happened last year. You were like, stop trying to push naughty and nice so hard. I like to keep people on message what we're doing here.
It just kind of it kind of makes me feel uneasy. Yeah, it's not, I don't feel judgy. Like, what are you doing? Like, I just feel uneasy.
Uncanny Valley, which I've talked about on the show before. It's a robotics theory.
Explain Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, it's a robotics theory from the 1980s that when they were starting to do artificial intelligence and robots, they realized that if the robot looked too much like a human, it actually freaked people out. So there's this uncanny valley. If it doesn't look like a human at all, you're comfortable. If it looks exactly like a human, you're comfortable. But if there's something a little bit off, like the cheeks are too full or it just looks not quite human in some way, it gives people an actual stomach churning feeling. Like they can't process it as well. And so that's called the uncanny valley in the graph of pleasant feelings. This weird valley when you're almost human but not quite. And I think some of the cosmetic procedures give the viewer that uncanny valley feeling. Like we have to look twice because you're like, is something happening here to their face? Like what's going on?
So I just feel like the fact that like we're kind of, we've normalized a perfected face at such a young age is unsettling to me.
It is a little bit unsettling. I will give us a positive that youth culture has given us this year. So I'm going to go nice here. Jess, people are wearing sunscreen. Now this might be because they want to look younger, but I first got this vibe
whatever it takes, right?
Marina Mansour of Kyra Beauty, we had her on, and I did that whole Gen Z beauty report with her, and she was talking about how much people love sunscreen. And then I did an interview recently with makeup artist Carola Gonzalez. It was for The Cut, but something she said stuck with me. I don't even think this made it into the article. And she was like, well, I have to darken everybody's face with foundation. I was like, wait, what? She was like, everybody comes in and their face is like 3 shades lighter than the rest of their body now because everybody wears sunscreen. And I was like, that's a good thing. She was like, oh, yeah, totally a good thing. She was just saying, like, a lot of people need their complexion warmed up a bit because they wear so much sunscreen all the time, which I love. So I looked into it. And from 2007 to 2019, you can't always get the stats on the year that you're still in.
Yeah,
the average mean sunscreen usage for teens increased by 4% every year. And having worked at Cosmo Girl, I know that like that market, you can never get them to wear sunscreen because you're invincible when you're a teenager. But they are wearing sunscreen now. And perhaps that's because they know that it can not only cause skin cancer, but also cause aging, the UV light, of course. And then sun care sales rose sharply in the last year. They soared nearly 26% in 2021, continuing to rise in 2022, but the year is not completely done yet. And much of that's attributed to, getting back out in the world. But that's what all the market researchers say. And I really think it's because people are seeing sunscreen as a skincare thing, as like a vanity and like moisturizing kind of product and that kind of thing. And it's become normalized that you just put it on every morning. And, there's so many good ones now. You'd be hard pressed to make the argument in early 2023, I can't find a sunscreen I like, whereas no matter what your skin tone.
I think people who say that are still like their minds are
on like gloopy old school sunscreens.
Yeah, they haven't tried enough or, they just haven't tried enough or they haven't found one that's in their budget because I think a lot of the really elegant ones may seem to be out of their price reach or,
Isn't that funny you bring that up? Because I was like putting together a list of like 4 examples of like some of these elegant sunscreens. And I was like, oh, I need some budget ones. And I looked up, so Naked Sundays, Human Race has a sunscreen that's beautiful, Black Girl sunscreen, Ultraviolet from Australia. Joe Sean, that one that Dr. Idris introduced me to, $10. $10 for facial sunscreen.
But there's no way in hell that like your average bear knows about that. And even like I'm just being real, like a lot of sunscreens, I go to CVS and the names we know, they're still you can't walk out of CVS and like not spend a ton of money today. Like just on like average
No, the skincare I think in CVS is more expensive than what you'll find on Stylevana and like The Ordinary and Versed and some of these other ones. So you got to do your research for sure, but you can find good sunscreens now.
Yeah, but you have to want it. So you have to like be in that mindset. If you're like just walking into CVS, like it's still expensive for a lot of people.
But, and it might feel like I don't need this thing, but you do need it. One last thing I noticed as I was doing some research on sunscreen. Have you ever heard of the brand Jackson Lane?
I haven't.
I think it's supposed to be like a gender neutral or men skewing line, whatever it is. They call their sunscreen, and I love this, Rain or Shine. It's SPF 30. They just call it their Rain or Shine fluid. And almost as the name is a cue to remind you, like you can get burnt during a rainy day or when there's clouds.
Oh, I like
you
that.
Put this on, Rain or Shine. And a lot of derms, I'm doing a ton of derm interviews for a project I'm doing right now. We're still waiting for good data to come out on blue light and what it does to your skin. But sunscreen, regardless of if they're sun, is a protective. A lot of them have antioxidants now, and the other forms of environmental damage like particulate matter, other forms of life, infrared heat. Sunscreen helps with all of that too. So rain or shine. I don't know. The message is getting across, and I think that's very nice.
Awesome.
Every time I want to say, let's get naughty, I feel that song, like, let's get loud. Okay, let's get, I don't know. What are we getting? Naughty or nice? You're up, Jess.
Let's get naughty. Okay. So I feel like we're going backwards in terms of body pause, guys. It was the half shirts that were my first sign.
Crop summer.
Then it was when I couldn't find a dress that didn't have cutouts. And then when I saw this article in the Post that said that it was like, bye-bye booty, heroin chic is back. And
oh yeah, and then I just saw Cardi B had her butt implants taken out. Side note.
And then we talked
to your
about
story. Keep going.
Remember the other day we talked about Unfat Mascara about how some folks had stopped watching the Kardashians or threatened to.
Yeah, it was like a month ago, but it was a big deal.
Yeah, because Kim and Khloe were like squealing with delight because I didn't see the episode, guys.
This is
but they were like, basically they lost a lot of weight. Like I have eyes, so I can see that. They lost a lot of weight, and some people see it like as a betrayal since they did so much to like change perceptions of body shape. And then people were pissed off at Kim Kardashian because she went on that crash diet to fit into the Marilyn Monroe dress. So it just feels like, I checked the weather and it's not looking good for embracing one's body type and like to kind of fit into fashion. The New York Post is not like the end all be all. Like it's not like writing how women should actually feel about their bodies, but it just makes me uncomfortable. I think it doesn't feel good.
We need to right the ship.
Yeah. So I don't know if the people who are actually like wearing these clothes had survived them the first time around. Oh, and then the Miu Miu skirt. Like, listen, it's like...
Was that this year?
No, maybe it was... I think it was... Yeah, I don't know if it was this year. Like,
we're talking about Nicole Kidman. Well, I say Nicole Kidman because like they put it on the cover. The Miu Miu skirt was literally a belt. It was a belt.
I think, I know it's like, it was cool for like runway, but then like it kind of, it signaled
people were wearing it out. Well, by people, I mean celebrities, but yeah.
Yeah, but like, I guess like it just kind of, I don't have a problem with the Miu Miu skirt. I'm just saying like, it's kind of foretold, you've got to be thin to kind of.
Yeah. We're like, we're supposed to be body pause. And then all the fashion is literally like strings to drape over your body, whatever shape it might be, not acknowledging that not everybody wants to show off their body, whether they're skinny or big. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I have faith that people aren't, it's like fool me once, but 20 years later, fool me twice. I don't know about that. But, and I was reassured by people's kind of like, hey, we don't want to see Kim and Khloe like gleefully, being so excited that they've lost all this weight. The amount of conversation around these topics makes me feel like, okay, it's not going to be so bad this time. But it just doesn't thrill me.
Right. Well, at least we're talking about it, and maybe that'll have us all remind us that we made some movement in the right direction. Yeah. We need to keep it going. I like that. It's a naughty, but I'm going to make it nice because let's keep it going in the right direction and be more accepting. That would be good.
And by the way, like, I do like kind of like a lot of those clothes. It's just like...
I got what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not like, you got to be buttoned up in like a schoolmarm outfit. It's just like...
somehow the shock fashion and body acceptance don't marry together quite well. And by shock fashion, I mean like the nakedness that is played off as fashion these days.
Yeah, it's just like, it's just kind of a mood. Yeah. Okay, keep going.
Oh, I was going to go positive because it's on the same spectrum of story, which is about, acceptance. And we have talked a lot about age acceptance this year, and I would be remiss not to bring it up here in a positive manner to say that menopause is hot. No pun intended. It's come up in multiple conversations. The weird part about this is to me that it took consumerism to push this societal trend. Like we're talking about it because brands are focused on selling things to women for it. So I don't love that part of it. But then again, that's how culture talks these days. So because of these brands, Stripes, Pause While Aging, Stacey London's State of Menopause, Better Not Younger, Womaness, Kindra Care, even your podcast, Black Girl's Guide to Surviving Menopause, Not Your Mother's Menopause, like because of all that, okay, the podcast is good because they're not trying to sell us anything. It's something that was a taboo topic that is okay to talk about. And just like you said with talking about body acceptance, like with that acceptance comes that your body will change. So I'm down for this trend.
Yeah, I definitely saw some criticism. I think I've seen it a lot with Goop. Like people get mad with Gwyneth Paltrow and Goop for like talking about sexual wellness or, menopause. And they're like, yeah, but what, it's blah, 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 like commerce, blah, blah. And it's like, well, you know what? She's brought up these topics that like were hush hush.
That is why I put it as like a little bit of I understand why we're talking about it and it's because of consumerism, but hey.
It doesn't make me mad. It's like,
it doesn't make me mad. And you don't have to go buy those products. Isn't it nice to just go to that company's blog and get, an explainer on what's happening to your body? If that's all you get out of it?
Yeah, completely. You don't have to buy the candle. You don't have to buy the vibrator.
There's a menopause candle?
No, I'm just thinking about like group with like sexual wellness. Maybe, I don't know. They could be cooking one up right now. But I'm not mad at like the commerce part if the end goal is bigger and it didn't like hurt anyone in the process.
Here we go. We're rounding it out. Thanks for sticking with us. This is our last little section here. Naughty and nice, naughty and nice. What's your final one, Jess?
Okay, this is like so non-controversial. I feel like we've talked about such heavy topics like menopause.
I know. Let's lighten it up.
Body dysmorphia, injectable like dysmorphia. It's been like so heavy. Okay, I just really like a brand.
Yes. Like we should have led with this. What do you like?
I like a beauty product, guys. Okay, so in the summer, Isamaya French dropped her line. And I had not been so excited for a line in some time. Jen and I are both big fans of Isamaya's work. And she's an amazing artist. If you're not familiar with her, please go Google her or like look at her Instagram. She's done 1 million covers, 1 million ad campaigns. She's been worked in the creative for like Tom Ford, Burberry, Byredo, like, yeah, major. Anyway, she drops this line and it's bigger and better than we ever thought. Not in terms of 1 million products, but it's conceptually awesome. It's like theatrical. It's like a fashion collection. She drops like a collection that's completely cohesive and like unmistakable from any other person's line. It definitely does not look like it was like pumped out of some factory in California, like that does like 1 million other things. It looks super custom. And then boom, her next collection, which drops like umpteen months later, is completely different. Looks like it's done by someone totally different, but it's just because it's like another section of her mind. It's almost like a band. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this was their like black album phase and this is their blue album phase. It's like, totally different identities. To me, that's so exciting to see an artist do that. And you've never seen it like that in beauty. So I think it's so cool. It's so inspiring and it's like truly innovative. And it made me really excited about beauty and product.
I love that. I also was excited because Julia Fox wore her second line. I saw her put it on. Who is basically my muse of 2022. And that's my original thought.
No, I was thinking about Julia Fox for like 2022. I'm like, how do we incorporate her? Because she definitely was
you go. She put on Isamaya's makeup and that's all you need to know. I love that you ended on that line. I'm ending on a couple products too. Okay. Because I loved how viral certain fragrances went because it feels like it shouldn't happen. Like it feels like perfume is like you got to try it to smell it. Why would it like people get so excited about it and everybody's buying it just because they saw it on like a video or a tweet about it? But like fragrance tells a story. One of my favorite episodes this year was Azzy Glasser. A lot of people messaged me like whenever we have a fragrance person on. Actually, my sister-in-law at Thanksgiving, she was like, "Are the perfumers your favorite guests?" And I was like, I can't speak for Jess, but some of my favorite episodes are the perfumers because it tells a story.
So tell me, like, what were there any particular fragrances that, caught your? Okay, go on.
Well, like we talked about the Fleur one, Missing Person. Yeah. Actually, a lot of skin musks were very viral. Like Glossier You, people still love, and one of them that I was surprised by because it's not new, but it really took off. Juliet Has a Gun, not a perfume. People online are talking about how. Like, it's one ingredient. It's Cetalox, I think is how you say it. It's a synthetic molecule. Since when have you heard people talking about perfumes that know the molecule name of what's in it, right? Like, people are nerding out on fragrance, and I love it. The other thing that really went viral was all the vanilla-based scents. Parfum de Marly, the Delina that you love. Eilish, Billie Eilish's, that's some vanilla. By Kilian Love, Don't Be Shy. I feel like that went viral because people think it's Rihanna's fragrance, but that has vanilla in it. Yves Saint Laurent Libre Intense.
I like that one.
There's vanilla in there too. I think there's this creamy thing going on, this musky thing going on, the perfumes that are going viral. And of course, like Baccarat Rouge. I was just at a party last night. It's like Le Labo Santal was to like 2016 as Baccarat Rouge is to now. I thought it would go away during the pandemic. I love that scent, but like—
You've been wearing it for a long time.
It's everywhere in New York. But I just love the idea that like people are sharing their fragrances with this passion.
I love that. And yeah, I think people think that, you can't really discover fragrance online and that like couldn't be further from the truth.
Absolutely not. And that's the other thing. It's one of those areas of beauty that like you could never stop learning about and you could never stop collecting. It's a fun thing to get into if you haven't yet. And I just love perfume, and we need to have some more perfumers on in 2023.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So I was thinking about how to end the show, and I was like looking back through all of our guests, and I was like, what was my favorite thing somebody said on, to us this year? I don't know if you're going to love this, but I do have a quote from one of our guests as my favorite to wrap up the year.
Okay, wrap it up with a bow.
This is Marcella Correa, the medical pedicurist.
Your sock is not a condom?
You blew I was going to make it like a funny line. I was going to have a beat. I was going to make people laugh. Socks are not condoms. Socks are not condoms. Sometimes I just picture her saying it like as I'm falling asleep at night and get the giggles all over again.
Do you want to stop and re-record it, and I'll just play
No, everybody's sick of me and my voice. It's fine. Just if you haven't listened to Marcella's episode back from like April of this year, please go listen.
No, but make sure people don't think she's actually you gotta reframe this.
Oh, if you haven't listened, some context.
No,
we were talking about nail fungus.
Yes, okay.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about nail fungus and talking about how you have to clean your shoes. She likes a UV light to clean the insides of the shoes to kill bacteria and fungus. Why is that? Because socks are not condoms. And if you clean your foot and you cure the fungus and then you put it back in the dirty shoe, socks are not condoms.
And I think her UV light you can buy on her website. And it's very simple. You just put your shoes in them. Whenever I've gone to her, she's like, take off your shoes. And it's so cute. And she puts them in the little UV light.
No. It made perfect sense to me, but I love how she just dropped it as if whatever. Jess and I just sat there in shock and then had the giggles so bad. So anyway, I leave you with that for the end of 2022. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. We're going to take a break for the next. We'll do some replays of some. You know what? I'll replay Marcella's interview as one of our replays next week.
I feel so badly that I stole your punchline. I didn't think that was going to be what you were going to say.
How could it not be? It was the greatest line we've had on the podcast this year. So we're taking a break next week. We hope you're with your family and your friends and enjoying yourself. We will be back in the new year with all new episodes, some amazing guests lined up. And that's the show. Get your beauty sleep, except on New Year's Eve. Maybe then, stay out all night.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
It's your reviews and feedback that help us make the podcast even better. Head over to iTunes to rate and review us, or email your thoughts to info@fatmascara.com.
We also want to answer your beauty questions and hear what products you love. To share a Razor One product review or to ask a beauty question, email us at info@fatmascara.
If you send it as a voice memo file, we can even share your voice on the podcast. You can also do that by leaving us a voice message. Our phone number in the United States is 646-481-8182.
Thanks so much for listening.